What's going on, everybody? This is Lady Luck here again. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I was not going to do a live or anything today. My oldest son's birthday is tomorrow, so I wanted to spend some time with my kids. But I did want to take a quick second to highlight something that I just find to be absolutely disturbing. Candace Owens, of course, is still making international headlines now for a lot of bad reasons, but she did a show last week and she basically stated that she was not going to attend the memorial for her friend Charlie Kirk. And she having done what 3 or 4 videos so far on trying to investigate his death and trying to follow tips and all of these things that she's doing, only for her to say that she's not going to attend his memorial service. It's I just find that mind-boggling and very hypocritical to say the least. So I wanted to show the portion of her video where she, I guess is supposed to be responding to all of the haters, trying to throw doubt into her relationship, her friendship rather, with Charlie Kirk, and if she actually was as close to him as she says she was. And so this is her response that I'm going to show. But before I do that, make sure you guys hit the like button and make sure you share the content and subscribe to the Lady Luck Club. And of course, check the description of the video for Dr. Squatch products. We do have a partnership with them here in the Lady Luck Club. I receive a commission on the sales of the products that are tagged, that are purchased, and it goes back towards the expenses of the channel. Thank you guys so much for your contribution, your support, and for sharing the content. And so we're going to get right to this. I just, if you call yourself a friend, I don't think there should be any reason why you would not attend their memorial service. But, a lot of this seems to be self-inflicted from Candace, because of how she's handling this death. So I just want to just play this portion here. And you guys let me know what you think in the comment section.
It's only. Okay. All right. So let's get into how weird these headlines are getting. It's very strange. And I think we know why it's happening. We obviously know why it's happening. But even the publications that are usually not so blatant, because in order to be a propagandist, you want to be effective, right? You got to lie a little and get people to believe you, not just do things that are just so nakedly deceptive that people go, okay, why am I even reading this publication? Well, the Daily Mail put out this headline about me. I can't even this. Look at this journalist, Victoria Churchill, who reached out. She writes, Candace Owens rages after being snubbed from the Charlie Kirk Memorial speaking roster. When did this happen? The lying here is actually making me uncomfortable. I told you yesterday that we received way too many emails about Charlie's memorial. All of them were asking specifically for me to confirm that I was going. Didn't feel good to me. It felt very inauthentic. I know these journalists are not my friends. I knew they were writing hit pieces, but all of them included that question. Did you, are you going? Are you going to go? You want me to confirm my attendance so that you know where I'm going to be ahead of time? Am I being paranoid? Or does that seem like a little weird? Even on PBD's show, where he just gives a platform to a guest.
First of all, that's just, that is so far beyond, realistic. And of course, they're going to ask you if you've done a whole tribute video saying to my friend Charlie Kirk, talked about how close you two were. You're almost single-handedly trying to solve his death while not really thinking about just the aspect of the death itself. And of course, the entire world saw it. And more so trying to be a friend and be there for his wife. It's almost as if you can tell she's just cracking a little bit. And I would rather she take off a couple days to be with her friend if she claims to be so close to Charlie Kirk. Why aren't you by his wife's side? It's one thing to want to know, okay, what truly happened. I may have some doubts. I've even myself pointed out some issues that I had with the actual court documents regarding the charges. And how a weapon ended up on the top of the roof, where it doesn't really state that in the indictment. But those are questions that, the average person will ask, just like the average media, spokesman or journalist will ask you, since you're so close, are you going to attend his memorial service? Are you going to attend his funeral? That's not because they're, trying to be messy. They ask, it's no different than, you know, someone getting married, a high profile person getting married. Let's say hypothetically Oprah Winfrey, right? More than likely the media is going to ask Gayle King, will you be at Oprah's wedding? Because they're close, they're friends. Everyone on the internet knows that. That's not shocking news here. And if you purport yourself to be his friend, naturally people are going to ask you, are you going to be there for the family? Are you going to attend the memorial services or go to the funeral? I don't understand your offense to the question being asked, but that's questions that the media asks all the time. It's in these types of high profile deaths like this. So why take offense to it? Just answer the question. It's either yes, I'm going, or no, I'm not. This is really strange to me.
To completely lie for 2 minutes straight. There is this random second where PBD rather oddly says something along the lines of, you don't think she's going to the funeral? Like they keep talking about this. Take a listen again.
At some point, her credibility, is going to go down the tubes because she needs to bring receipts. Bill Ackman brought receipts. How long was that tweet?
It's still going. I think
he was there in the room. Andrew Colbert was there in the room. You're on the board of Turning Point?
Yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you saw Candace Owens?
In person?
Yeah.
2015,
Oh,
2016.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. No,
When's the last time she was at a Turning Point event?
Not in many years.
Okay.
But
so let's without even being biased.
There's no question, proof that Candace Owens has nothing to do. She would be in a perfect world if they didn't have this. What I already know was a very quiet breakup where she got too rabbit hole for him. She would be the logical heir to the TPUSA throne, but she's not.
Now she's not even invited.
Correct. So this is so their divide is.
Wait a minute, not invited meaning
she's not even there.
Yeah, she's not one of the names.
What, you don't think she'll be at the funeral?
No.
That's not the funeral.
The heir to the TPUSA throne.
She doesn't speak at the events anymore.
Okay, so first and foremost, why did they all want to know if I was going to this event? I said, there is no way we are going to this event now. There's a 0% chance. First and foremost, why are you saying but anybody can go to it? You just buy a ticket to the event and you're all working to try to get me to confirm that I'm going. And you're doing this as if you're trying to like push my buttons and be like, we got to make her get into her ego. So she like shows up and like posts it on social media. Nope. Actually, while I'm attacking the feds, maybe not going to a public event, which the feds are organizing is probably a very good idea. I'm good. I'm going to listen to Power on my headphones and go see Yay. How's that for a memorial for Charlie Kirk? That feels like the right thing for me to do right now. I'm not going.
No, it's not, Candace. No, it's not. Now, to be fair, since I as an independent journalist, I want to, be able to see both sides of the aisle here. To be fair, he said he sits on the board with the Turning Point company. Okay, he may not know all of what she's been doing. Obviously, he's not really close with her. If he said he hasn't seen her since 2016 or whatever, he probably does not know what she's done thereafter, because that's the last time he has seen her. So I'll give her credit for that. If the board of Turning Point hadn't seen or heard from Candace or anything since 2016, he probably has no idea what she's done with Charlie and Turning Point since then, even though it's kind of weird seeing that he's on the board. But maybe he doesn't have, the itinerary on every event, and he probably isn't even looking for her at this point. So it sounds like he really hasn't kept up with all of the inner workings and all the events and who's attending what, which is fine if you're not going to, be a part of her life or anything directly. So if she's done an event as recent as last year, that's something that she can prove, which I think she goes to do. So to her credit, this guy is obviously not aware of what she's done since 2016. That's just obvious. But why in the world would even something like that cause you to say, I'm not going to go now? This is a Fed-sponsored event. What about his wife and children? If you're like a sister to him and you were a very, very, very close friend, You two worked together. He hired you on to TP and you traveled together. You guys were like, as you said, an old married couple before he actually got married. Why in the world would you even allow that conversation from, I think his name is Eric Bowler? Why would you allow anything he said to still deter you from going to the memorial service to support your friend's grieving wife, who's now widow, and the 2 children? Because I would like to think that if, God forbid, anything would happen to you or your spouse, Erica Kirk would be there for you. Especially if you claim to have been so close to him, to been his dear friend, to where you're doing multiple videos trying to solve his murder by either implying something with the feds or something with, Bibi Netanyahu and all Jewish people. It's ridiculous that you would allow something like that to deter you from attending his memorial service. It brings to question whether or not you two were still close. You not being there almost validates their thought and opinion of you two having some quiet breakup or the possibility that he distanced himself. And I'm going to tell you all right now, I did not keep up with Charlie Kirk. I don't know if there's any content within the last year of those two still being around each other or being at an event together, or, him even speaking about her. I didn't watch his stuff. I didn't keep up with him. But what I do know is she is making videos saying that is her best friend. And he was like a brother and all these things. She was one of the ones that were, I guess, kind of pivotal towards him meeting Erica and marrying Erica Kirk. Okay, so if that's the role you played in his life, why in the world would you let something like that keep you from going to his memorial service? Why, Candace? You're being a bad friend. This is ridiculous. If I love someone unconditionally and I care for them, I don't care who's putting that event together. I'm going to it. It's so crazy for her to be saying this. Talking about listening to Kanye? God, please.
To this memorial, because it's strange. To lie like this is very strange. For context, just so you can realize how odd this is, I spoke at Turning Point's conference, 2 conferences last year. It's so easily, like I said, debunkable that you have to ask yourself why they are saying it. Here's me speaking on Turning Point USA stage last year. And here's what I said, by the way, which got Charlie in a lot of trouble.
Well, let me tell you something, America. It does feel so good to go everywhere in the world and to realize that there's awakening, not just happening here. Let me tell you guys, it's happening all across the globe. People are starting to ask the hard questions. And you start getting close when they start to call you names. They instantly want to suggest that there's something wrong and there's something backwards about being America first. You're starting to hear the way they're framing that now. When you say you're America first, they'll ask you, what do you mean you're America first? Do you mean that you're an isolationist? Do you believe that we shouldn't have did what we did during World War II? All of these things trying to pollute it. It's not that difficult. America first. First name America, last name first. We put this country's interests before the interests of foreign countries overseas. All of them. I don't care.
Yeah, it kind of went on and on, but it was kind of me saying, especially since 3 months earlier, I had gotten fired from the Daily Wire, like, Israel, you're not special. And yeah, Charlie got in trouble for the stuff that I said on stage. And then they came inward. I told that I was not allowed to speak at AmFest. The donors were making threats. But like, I went on tour with Turning Point last year. It's still on their website. This is like the strangest thing. We could pull up this website. Live Free Tour, Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens. Quiet breakup? Why are we doing this? It's very strange. Here's all the places that we went to last year. Now they are pushing these headlines that are so far beyond the realm of reality, like the one that I just showed you, where they say that I'm angry. And then when you look into who's writing these articles, like Victoria Churchill, you note that she has a connection to AIPAC. So AIPAC is pushing this.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care who's pushing it. If he is your friend, nothing and no one should be putting any distance between you and him or any doubt in your mind when it comes to going to his memorial service. He lost his life in front of national television, and you said you were his closest friend. He was like a brother to you. That is what you should keep at the forefront, Candace. Not allowing someone's trivial nonsense in comparison to the death of someone who was executed on national television that you said is a brother to you, to cause you to say, I'm not even going to go. I'm just going to listen to Kanye West song. What is the matter with you? Don't you think his wife would want you by her side if you claim to be this close to Charlie Kirk and his family? This is so out of pocket, it's not even funny. She's crashing out all over YouTube. She's got 5 million supporters almost. And no one can sit down and talk to her. No one can get her to understand how hypocritical this looks. It's almost like you're validating the nonsense. If you don't care about what they think about you or what they're saying about you, don't give it energy. You have too large of a platform to be worried about anything that they're saying when one of them said he hasn't seen or heard from you since 2016. You know you can debunk that, but why are you taking time to do that as opposed to going to the memorial service? Candace, you're not picking your battles. You're allowing this stuff to overtake you, and why? And that, like I said, I'm not perfect at all. But something like this, I would never, ever be deterred from going to someone I consider to be a best friend and a brother to me. God forbid he loses his life. And there's a memorial service. I don't care how much the ticket is. She's worth $220 million. Candace could buy a ticket for herself and her whole entire family. And more than likely, you know, if it wasn't for her diving into these deep holes where Charlie Kirk was paying some of the price of it, and if she would have at least maintained that friendship and put some effort into it over the last year, they would not have charged her to come to that memorial service. They would have still considered her family, as I'm sure they have done so previously. Now, what I did not see is anything regarding tour dates or anything else that has occurred since that tour. She's saying that she was pushed out and all this other stuff. You know, there's nothing that she pulled up that was recent after that tour where she had any dealings with Turning Point or anything like that. And what did she say in the previous video? She said, basically, I had to focus on getting my platform together, had to, you know, get my life back on track because she had been fired from the Daily Wire and all these things. So she turned around and focused on herself. And she built up a platform of almost 5 million people, mostly on this nonsense about Brigitte Macron and Harvey Weinstein and Epstein files. That's about it. You take those 3 main topics away, what do you have left? That's what's so crazy about this. And once upon a time, she was infamous for investigating how BLM founders were spending money. Because I don't care who you are, misappropriating funds is bad, whether you are Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever. And now you're sitting here talking about you're not going to his memorial service. This is god awful.
Or with Turning Point last year, it's so on their website. It's so this is like the strangest thing. We could pull up this website. Live Free Tour, Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens.
What's happened since this Live Free Tour since spring of 2024? I mean, that's why people are asking, Candace, because they're trying to gauge where you stood and how close you truly were to Charlie Kirk as you purport yourself to be. But you can't be that close to him if you're going to sit back and say, you know what? I'm not going to go now. Who do you think you're hurting the most? Do you understand that your friend died? Unfortunately, he's gone. And the best way to pay tribute to him and to show love and to support his family is by going to the memorial service and the funeral. And you're saying you're not going to do that because someone said something you didn't like because words. This is absolutely absurd.
Quiet breakup? Why are we doing this? It's very strange. Here's all the places.
Why are you
that
catering
we went
to it? Why respond to it?
Now they are pushing these headlines that are so far beyond the realm of reality, like the one that I just showed you, where they say that I'm angry. And then when you look into who's writing these articles, like Victoria Churchill, you note that she has a connection to AIPAC. So APAC is pushing this, right? The answer is implied by the people who are attacking me. They are all ultra Zionists, right? Like I said, the author of that article is an ultra Zionist, and here she is, starting off 2018 in DC, and she got a picture.
All right, I'm done. That's it. Okay, so in conclusion, Candace Owens is being a horrible friend. She claims she's close to Charlie Kirk, and despite whatever tour she's done with Turning Point, I don't care. That should not be a deterrent to keep you away from his family right now when they need you the most. And if you are being a true friend, you will be by Erica Kirk's side and not be sitting here, not sit here and waste time doing a whole video where you have the attention of 5 million people on YouTube alone, trying to respond to someone making up some stuff you claim is not true anyway. So why give energy to it? Why breathe life into that situation? Why is that taking precedence over you just supporting your friends, wife and children in this, in their loss, in your loss? Why? You don't have to respond to everything. Yeah, this is why everybody's not meant to be on YouTube or social media in general. Certain things are just not worthy of a response. You could have went to that memorial service and just let people find out the hard way. Same thing with the funeral. Just go and let people find out the hard way. You don't have to answer right away if you don't want to answer questions. But it doesn't mean that you just don't go because they're asking questions. Oh my God, the buffoonery and it's just, it's appalling. All right, y'all, that's all I got. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys' support. Make sure you hit the like button on these videos and share the content. I want to try to get to 30,000 supporters by September 30th. We still have that goal. It's 9 days left in the month of September. So check out all of the other great content because I do a variety of content here in the Lady Luck Club, something for everyone to enjoy. And thank you so much for the support as usual with the memberships and with the supers and cash apps, financial contributions. It does go toward the expenses towards the channel. And I will be back again tomorrow with a live on Umar. So until then, you guys take care. Lady Luck out. Peace.